Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of our YouTube series, Proverbs, God's Encouragement for You. Today, I'm going to be going through chapter 7 and chapter 8 today, just because they kind of go into well together. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, starting off in chapter 7 of Proverbs, starting in verse 1, we see it is talking about, chapter 7 is talking about the warning against the adulteress. So, once again, a little backtrack here, we see that in these Proverbs, we're seeing it from a father talking to his son about warning against these evils, just as God warns us against sins. It's kind of how he would tell us to stay away from these, like a father telling his son to stay away from evil things. So starting verse 1 through 4, we see here it says, "My son, keep my words and treasure up my commandments with you. Keep my commandments and live. Keep my teachings as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your finger, write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call insight your intimate friend. To keep you from forbidden women, from the adulteress with her smooth words." So we see here, one thing I really love is 3 and 4, just gives such an amazing emphasis on how close we should keep wisdom to us. We should keep it so close that it's like on our finger, like that close to us, on our hearts, literally on our hearts. I mean, not literally, obviously, but like metaphorically, like that's how close it should be. Or like, say to wisdom, you are my sister. Say like it should be as close to you as it is you are to your sister, because they're family. You should be that close with this wisdom. And call insight your intimate friend, like your best friend. Just giving another instance of how important it is to keep wisdom close to us, because this is going to be so beneficial for our lives in the long run, and it's so helpful. And I just love how they make that analogy in the first part of chapter 7. Verse 5 through 10, we see it is referencing to the adulteress and giving an analogy of what adultery is. It's like a woman in the dark trying to seek you in the dark when you're going home at night, and a woman or in this case a prostitute would come to you in the middle of the night asking for you to pay money or do whatever to do something with them. Adultery is very sneaky. It will come into you in like the dead of night without any warning. So you have to be very, very, very careful. Starting in verse 6, it says, "For at the window of my house I have looked out through my lattice, and I have seen among the simple, I have perceived among the youths, a young man lacking sense, passing along the streets near her quarter, taking the road to her house in the twilight in the evening, at the time of night and darkness." So once again, it will come to you in like the dead of night, at a time where you won't see it coming. So you have to be very, very, very careful about that. And then going through 10 through 22, I'm not going to read all of it, but just talking about what it's like when you fall into that adultery. Like starting verse 10 and 11, it says, "And behold, the woman meets him dressed as a prostitute," which I mentioned, "willy of heart. She is loud and wayward." And they continue saying, "Now in the streets of the market, at every corner, she lies in wait. She seizes him. Bold-faced, she says to him, 'I had to offer sacrifices. Today I've paid my vows.'" So we see here, just once again, how it's like wolf in sheep's clothing. You won't see it, but it's disguised in a way that will throw you off guard. So you have to be very, very careful. And then 23 through 27, we see here just, once again, just it hit it hard, hit it home, saying you need to be careful of this. Starting verse 23, I'll read it for you guys. "Till an arrow pierces its liver, as a bird rushes into a snare, he does not know that it will cost him his life. And now, O sons, listen to me, and be attentive to the words of my mouth. Let not your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not stray into her paths." Listen to this part right here. This is what I really like. "For many a victim has she laid low, and all her slain are mighty throng. Her house is the way to Sheol, going down to the chamber of death." Wow. I mean, this is deep. This is literally saying adultery is the path to hell. Just straight up. And it's not wrong. If you fall down this path and you keep going down this path, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to be completely bluntly honest. But I love 23. I like how it says it's like an arrow piercing its liver. As a bird rushes to a snare, he does not know that it will cost him his life. When we fall into these traps, we at first we're like, oh yeah, it's not that bad. It's just trying to get the ease off, you know. But then after it's over, it's like, what have I done? I've made such a horrible mistake. And by that time, it's too late. So it's warning you, do not fall into this. I cannot put enough emphasis on how dangerous this is. It is so dangerous. It is scary. Like, it is talking about how it will literally kill you. Maybe not physically, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally. It is horrible. So do not fall into this. You need to be very, very careful. And starting in verse 8, chapter 8, starting in chapter 8, we see it is titled The Blessings of Wisdom. And this one I really like because it talks about how beneficial wisdom is. Like when we take wisdom into our lives and we hold it close, like a family member, like a sister, like a brother, have it tied around our hearts, we can see the fruit of that labor, of that wisdom that we are given. So, starting in verse 12, I highlighted this verse. It says, I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. So, this one I love because when it says when we dwell with wisdom, we find, when we dwell in wisdom and prudence, we gain knowledge and discretion. Because when we have wisdom, our minds are opened up to things that are maybe things that we were not aware of, and things that the Holy Spirit helps us to be like, okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Or put it on our hearts, be like, I don't think I should do that. Or something doesn't seem right. Maybe I should do something. When we have that wisdom, we can get that kind of power. It's really cool. I love it. And to be honest, I've had a couple instances where I've had those moments. And I am very thankful for me looking back and be like, I'm glad I took that wisdom. Because without that wisdom, I would have gone down a very different path. And that's something I encourage you guys with. Wisdom. If you guys are given wisdom, when you guys gain wisdom, either from people or from the Bible, take it to heart because it is so beneficial for you guys. So in verse 14, it says, I have counsel and sound wisdom. I have insight. I have strength. When we have wisdom, when we take in this wisdom, we gain insight and we gain strength. Maybe not physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally. We gain these, some might call supernatural strengths that give us powers that some people might find maybe odd. Be like, how did you know? Or how did that happen? It's when we engulf that wisdom into our lives. That wisdom is so, so important to take in. So if you guys get anything out of this episode, once again, I've mentioned it before, wisdom. Take in this wisdom. Do not throw away this wisdom that is given to you. Take it to heart. Keep it close to you, for you will find strength and insight with it. In verse 18, we see it says, riches and honor are with me, endured wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, even fine gold, and my yield than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, in the path of justice. Now, I love this analogy because it is so, so cool. So we mentioned like in one of the first chapters of Proverbs, talking about how wisdom has more value than most precious jewels. We see here again that when we gain wisdom, our riches and honor are with me. And then 19, I absolutely love. My fruit is better than gold, even fine gold. Now, when it's talking about fruits, it's not talking about literal fruits. It's talking about like the fruits of the Spirit. When we have these fruits of the Spirit, when we have taken this wisdom, it grows our fruits of the Spirit. It grows our fruits. And it gets to the point where people can see those fruits in our lives and be like, huh, that's interesting. I want to ask him about that. People actually see our fruits and they actually become healthy and they become beneficial for not just us, but for everybody around us. And it's so cool to see that. Like when we gain wisdom, we get that. And it's so cool. And then just going down through, once again, just talking about how amazing it is to have wisdom and what blessing it is to have. And then starting at verse 35, it says, "For whoever finds me," I love this. This is probably one of my favorite in chapter 8. "For whoever finds me finds life, and who obtains favor from the Lord. But he who fails to find me injures himself, and who hates me loves death." Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. That is just like straight to the point. It hits hard, but it's so cool. I don't even know how to explain. Like it says, "For whoever finds me finds life." So it's talking about wisdom, but where do we get wisdom? We get it from God. So if we replace wisdom with God, we see it says, "For whoever finds me, wisdom," or whoever finds God finds life, and obtains favor from God. But he who fails to find God injures himself, and who hates God loves death. And we see that here in life. We see that in every day of our lives. When we see people who seek wisdom, seek God in their daily lives, we see that they obtain favor. We see how God blesses them in their life. But we see people who fail that and are living in sin. We see that everywhere around us. People who, there's a lot of examples I could give, but people who live in sin, we see that they're injuring themselves. Bad things are happening to them. And they hate God. Some people even say they hate God. And because of that, they love death, because that's what's going to happen if they do not change. But it's free will. They can make that decision. But it's so important that we make that decision to follow Christ, follow wisdom, gain wisdom from God. And I just love how they end this. It's just so good. Absolutely amazing. So if you guys get anything out of this, the one thing I want you guys to get out of this is seek wisdom. Seek it and keep it. That's something I want you guys to keep in mind, is like as a theme for reading through Proverbs. When it comes to wisdom, you seek it and then you keep it. Seek it and keep it. Or sorry, not seek it. You seek it and then you keep it. When you seek God, then you keep it in your heart. And that's the encouragement I have for you guys today. I hope this was an encouragement for you guys. I know this was an encouragement for me. If you guys are enjoying these videos, like, comment, subscribe to these videos for more content. And if you guys have any questions or would love to see more content, please let me know. Make sure to also follow me on my Instagram. The link is in my bio for other content as well. God bless you guys and have a great day. See ya.